I'm an athlete. I ball. I think I'm Dominique. Go prime time like Dion and make you kiss my cleats. This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. Answering more questions today for the Power Project, brought to you by HowMuchYouBench.net, The Slingshot, and the only strength magazine in the world, ThePowerMagazine.com. The next issue has Brandon Lilly, the inventor of the cube, on the cover. Make sure you sign up. ThePowerMagazine.com. If you get the digital issue, you can receive it within just a few hours of it being uploaded, which will probably be in about 2 days or so. So make sure you get a hold of that. And then also, if you're going to subscribe to the hardcover copy, that'll be out in about 2 or 3 weeks. Takes a little bit longer to get that produced. Anyway, we got questions to answer here today at the Power Project, and this question is from John LaPlaza Jr. off of my Facebook page, and John wants to know about CarbNite. His question is, oh, by the way, the People's Coach here just got a haircut today. Got a $20 haircut that I didn't even need. Only the People's Coach can do that. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. John LaPlaza Jr. has a question about CarbNite, and he said he lost 25 pounds following CarbNite, and he's trying to be real strict. Congratulations on the weight loss. Congratulations to anybody else out there that has been inspired by what I was doing and has been inspired to try CarbNite. I encourage you to try to stick with it. I always say you're one meal away from being in and you're one meal away from being out. So even if you mess up, you screw up, you can get right back on track. Don't go overboard. Don't lead yourself to that cliff, and don't jump off. Certainly, absolutely don't jump off. But anyway, his question is, he's been super strict and he doesn't know what to do. He wants to drop more weight. He's about 240 pounds, I think. He said he wants to get down around 220. Whatever the case is, it sounds like he wants to lose somewhere between another 15 to 20 pounds. And he's really stuck. He's also noticing a loss in strength. I'll say this. You're going to lose strength, period. And you have to determine what you want to make a commitment to and how long you want the process to take. If you are a competitive powerlifter diving down to different weight classes, then you have an even bigger decision to make. But at least as a powerlifter, you can drop down about 15 pounds, lose 10, make a weight class, and then slap the weight back on and still lift some respectable numbers, as I did in the 242-pound weight class, weighing about 256. And so those are some options that you have in your journey to losing weight. But what I would suggest is, don't try to just dive down 2 weight classes out of nowhere, or 3 weight classes out of nowhere, unless there's like some sort of major health concern, or unless you're just so tired of being freaking fat that you can't handle it anymore, and you want a 6-pack, and you really want to lose that weight more than anything else, more so than you're worried about your strength. Then maybe you do want to dive down a little quicker. But you got to realize, slow and steady is going to win the race. I know you hear these kind of things all the time, and you hate hearing it. You got to find what works for you. You got to listen to your body. Like, what does that even mean, you got to listen to your body? If I listen to my body, all I hear is farts and snoring and disgustingness coming out. I don't know about you guys. But anyway, I guess that's a different topic for another day. What you're gonna want to do, what I would suggest is right now, starting this week, I would take the entire week off and just fatten up. I know that's kind of hard to do sometimes. I know that's not the easiest thing to do. I remember Jesse Burdick recommending that to me. And I was like, oh, cool, this will be fun. Then I started gaining weight, and I was like, man, this sucks. I'm getting fat. I felt like a chick. I was getting all bloaty and puffy, and I was all worried about the way I was looking. And I loved the progress I made at first, and I didn't like backtracking at all. So I was trying to be strict with it. Anyway, you got to kind of reset your metabolism. You got to do some things to change some things up. So option A is just give up and have a week that you take off. Don't completely give up. Just switch to carbohydrate backloading. And if you're really that concerned, you're that anal about it, then just do your carb backloading on days that you train, or each day make sure you get in some sort of training, whether it be cardio or weights, or do something on each and every day so you can kind of have an excuse to start eating more carbohydrates after 5 p.m. And then your other option would be, so option A is to switch to carbohydrate backloading, which is a keto type diet, low carbs, high protein, high fat, and then at night, after a certain time, whatever time that is that you want to, it doesn't really matter what time it is, but you just set a time to it. And I mean, it can't be, in the afternoon, but you want to try to do it at like 5 or 6 p.m. The time that you start it isn't the most crucial thing. It's that there's a set time to it, so you don't eat too much like a pig. But what I would suggest is try to get about 3 meals in, or 3 meals in. I used to start my carb backloading at around 3 or 4, and that way I could get in more meals. I would do about 3 meals, and they would be fairly healthy meals, with the last meal being still fairly healthy, but then I would eat dessert or kind of like whatever I wanted after that, whether it be cereal or peanut butter cups or Talente ice cream. Booyah, you guys know what I'm talking about out there. My boy Matt Nickerson eats it each and every night. I don't know how he gets away with it. But anyway, so that's option A. Option B is to switch up your diet and switch to a more bodybuilding style diet where you're eating some carbs with most of your meals. Maybe about 3 to 5 meals a day, you're having some source of carbohydrate. I still suggest kind of following a paleo style method where you're kind of staying away from a lot of bread and stuff like that, just because that helps to kind of eliminate some of the junk that you're eating. Maybe not even go paleo, but just avoid eating too much bread, too much refined carbohydrates. Stick to things more like rice and potatoes, sweet potatoes, that kind of stuff. Maybe fruits, vegetables, and so on. And switch to that for maybe about 2 weeks or so. And then, if you want to kind of continue your progress, or if you're not making the progress that you're looking for, switching over to the bodybuilding diet, switch back to CarbNite. But also keep in mind that when you follow a bodybuilding style diet, typically you're going to pull the fat out. So you're going to eat more carbohydrates. You're going to eat a similar amount of protein. You're still going to keep the healthy fats in there. You're going to try to strip out as much saturated fat as you can. So you're going to switch to like chicken breast, egg whites, leaner cuts of steak, leaner ground beef, and so on. Cutting out things like cheese, trying to cut back on things like butter, and that kind of stuff. And that I will guarantee you that that'll be very, very effective for you at this stage. And I would suggest that you just try it for about 2 weeks. The hard thing, the reason why I don't follow that type of protocol is because if I eat carbohydrates, it kind of sends me into a frenzy, and all I can think about is eating more carbohydrates. I have some bad habits I developed as a kid where I have a sweet tooth and I want to eat sugar, and I found that if I just stay with eating meat, then I can stay with eating meat. But the second I eat a carbohydrate, all hell breaks loose, and I just want to open up the cabinet and grab anything that I can. By the way, I'm wearing a Cube shirt. It was out to my boy, Brandon Lilly. Thank you for the Cube hookup. Look at that lovely little hammer and sickle there for the working class. So those are some options that you have. You didn't really mention whether you're mixing in cardio, but you did mention like a loss of strength. If you're losing energy, you got to make sure that you have enough. I'm sorry. Let me slow down here. If you're losing energy, you got to make sure that you have enough fat in your diet. So you might want to get a hold of some coconut oil. I recently purchased Nature's Way coconut oil. Nature's Way coconut oil is a liquid form of coconut oil. It doesn't come as like a solid. Some of them come as a solid in a big tub. This comes in a little bottle, and it's like that. What was I thinking? It comes as a liquid, so you can kind of put it into cold coffee, hot coffee, cold whatever, hot whatever, and it doesn't get all weird. Coconut oil gets all weird. So that would be a great source of fat because it's a medium chain triglyceride, which basically just means that it's readily available to your body. You can use it much faster than a saturated fat. There's less breakdown and so on and blah, blah, blah. Just know that it's good, and it can help you to burn your own body fat stores. Body fat stores. Imagine walking into one of those. Anyway, let's see, what else we got? So, and your other question was, did I do more than one carb night? It always takes the people's coach 10 minutes to get to the actual question. You guys ever freaking notice that out there? I bet you're trying to go trying to get to the end. You're tired of listening to the raps, tired of listening to all the crap. You keep trying to scroll forward and your YouTube won't work and everything's bogging down because you got too much porn on your phone and on your iPad. What the hell was I saying? Oh, the question. There we go. The question is about whether I did more than one CarbNite. The answer is kind of. I did occasionally because sometimes occasions come up, celebrations come up, people's birthdays and things like that. So not like I use that as an excuse every single time, but if I felt like I had a hard workout for the day, if I felt like I trained good all week and everything was going in my favor, then I kind of said, you know what, on that birthday party that so-and-so has this week, I'm just going to kind of eat whatever they have there. If they have pizza, that's going to be fine. I'm going to slaughter that, and then maybe afterwards I'll have some ice cream. Next day, bamski, I'll get back on the plan. So, occasionally I did use more than one CarbNite. I really only followed CarbNite really strict in the sense that I only did, 1 or 2 meals of carbohydrates on that 7th day for about 6 weeks or so. And then I started to manipulate. And I also started to incorporate, I'd say it's probably around a 2-month mark or so, started to incorporate intra-workout carbohydrates, and I was still able to lose some weight. So those are your tips on CarbNite, carb backloading, how to switch. Make sure that you're not following a keto. Keto diets are usually somewhat temporary. They're either temporary in the course of a week, or they're temporary in the course of over the course of a month or so. There's always a plan. There's always a plan to get back out of ketosis and to carb load and to kind of reset and offset your body. You can read about that in CarbNite if you have the book. Also, Dr. D. Pasquale has talked about that many times in the metabolic diet, the anabolic diet. You can also get a book called Body Opus, the original, by Dan Duchesne. He talks about that often. So basically, dude, mix shit up, confuse your body a little bit, and give your body a little bit of a break so you can kind of reset that metabolism. You can't go wrong when you're trying to be strong. Strength is never a weakness. I'm off to Colorado. And that is it from supertraining.tv.